if they do anything bad to our people, they will have to suffer. I'm sorry. If they start spitting in people's faces, punching our people, punching our soldiers, our patriots, they will get taken care of in at least an equal way. They're not going to do that. Like, you see it, the way they treat our people. And I said, you're allowed, if somebody does that, you can do something back. You're not going to stand there and take it. If somebody spits in your face, that will not be a pleasant thing for the person that spits. We're not letting people spit in our soldiers' face as they stand at attention, and they're not allowed to do anything. If they throw bricks at a car, at one of our vehicles, and are very expensive vehicles, they're going to be met with very, very serious force. Is way down because of what we've done. We've taken out thousands of criminals. What we want in Minnesota, we want them to open their jails and give us their criminals, and we're gone. That's all we want, and they're going to have to do it.
America's streets are filling again. From Los Angeles to Minneapolis to cities across the country, protesters are confronting a sweeping federal immigration crackdown. And now, the president is drawing a hard line. Border Patrol agents in Laredo, Texas, reportedly fired at a moving vehicle during one of their operations on Saturday. The video from Saturday in Laredo showed a white vehicle attempt to get away and federal officers fire as it moved. U.S. President Donald Trump says the federal government will not intervene in protests unfolding in Democratic-led cities unless local leaders ask for help. In a blunt social media post, Trump says federal forces will stay out of what he calls poorly run Democrat cities until they say the word please. But there is one clear exception. Trump says federal agents will forcefully defend all federal buildings, warning that ICE and Border Patrol have been instructed to act aggressively if those sites are threatened. The message comes as tensions boil over nationwide. In downtown Los Angeles, hundreds returned to the streets for a second straight day of anti-ICE protests. One night earlier, clashes erupted outside a federal detention center. Police declared an unlawful assembly. Debris was thrown. Dispersal orders were issued. 8 people were arrested. Yet protesters came back, calling for federal agents to leave their neighborhoods. And the anger stretches far beyond California. In Minnesota, public outrage exploded after federal officers fatally shot 2 American citizens, Renee Good and Alex Preddy, during immigration enforcement operations. Their deaths ignited demonstrations across the state and across the nation. In Minneapolis, protesters gathered outside federal buildings as church bells rang in solidarity. In Portland, crowds rallied near ICE facilities. In New York, demonstrators staged sit-ins at Trump-owned properties. The administration has already deployed National Guard troops and federal law enforcement in multiple Democratic cities, including Washington, Los Angeles, Chicago, and Portland. But pushback is growing. Minnesota's Attorney General and city leaders have accused the Department of Homeland Security of violating constitutional protections. A federal judge has allowed enforcement operations to continue while the legal fight plays out. The Justice Department calls the lawsuit legally frivolous. Still, pressure is mounting. Trump has sent his border czar, Tom Homan, to Minneapolis, signaling a possible shift in tone. Homan has suggested federal forces could scale back, but only if local officials cooperate. For protesters, that's not enough. From high school students to pastors, teachers to immigrants, many say this moment feels historic and dangerous. They say this isn't just about immigration, it's about federal power, it's about accountability, and it's about whether the streets or Washington will decide what comes next.
No more ICE in our streets! No more ICE! No more ICE! No more ICE! The people united will not!
From Minneapolis to Nebraska, thousands of Americans brave polar cold to protest ICE.
No justice, no peace, no more ICE on our streets.
Boycott ICE, freedom under attack. Chants echo across American cities.
No more ICE, no more ICE, no more ICE.
Car hit student during an anti-ICE protest outside Nebraska high school. We'll be known as the city that stood up for freedom, says protester from Minneapolis. Anger is spilling onto the streets across the United States as thousands protest President Donald Trump's immigration crackdown in what has become one of the largest nationwide protest waves in recent years. In Minneapolis, thousands marched through freezing temperatures, braving polar winds to demand an end to aggressive federal immigration enforcement. Crowds gathered near the public service building before flooding downtown streets, chanting, "ICE out now!" Protesters carried banners reading, "Immigrants are welcome here," "Protect the First Amendment," and "Fascism cannot survive without lies or billionaires."
We'll be known as the city that stood up for freedom. We're all together. We love each other. That's why I'm here. It's because I love my city, I love my country, and I love my neighbors.
That's the only way I'm getting hope is by seeing how we have shown up. The mutual aid that's been created has made me feel like I can get through this. Otherwise, I'm pretty exhausted, angry, sad, depressed.
I want to believe that. I want to hope that. But I always say hope isn't a plan. And so it's you keep on working, keep on moving, keep on being the community, showing up, being that beloved community like Martin Luther King Jr. talked about and the Gospel of Luke talks about. So that's where I'm at. Keep working, keep moving.
I am impressed by the numbers. We show up. It's cold, but we show up. They messed with the wrong city.
What's the goal? What is the objective of the march? What do you want to see happen?
People to listen, people to know we're not happy, and to get ICE out.
And will you keep marching until they're done?
I will keep marching until they're done. Yes.
We need to abolish ICE. We need to take back our constitutional rights, our First Amendment, our Second Amendment, all our Fourth Amendment, all our amendments, and we have to impeach everyone from the top down until we have an actual democracy. And I don't know what that looks like yet. I don't think anybody does. But we're waiting for it, we're pushing for it, and we're marching for it.
In Minneapolis, music also became part of the resistance. Rock legend Bruce Springsteen performed his new song, "Streets of Minneapolis," honoring those killed in the unrest. Quoting Tom Morello on stage, Springsteen told the crowd,
In the dawn's early light, citizens stood for justice.
The protests follow fatal shootings involving federal immigration agents, including the killing of intensive care nurse Alex Preddy, who was shot after filming an immigration operation. His death came weeks after Renee Good was fatally shot by an ICE officer during another enforcement encounter, incidents that have ignited nationwide outrage. The protests spread rapidly across the country. In Los Angeles, thousands gathered outside City Hall before marching to a federal detention center. As night fell, federal agents used chemical sprays to disperse crowds. Students across California walked out of classrooms holding signs reading, "We are all Renee Good." And again, the message echoed, "ICE out now." From Washington, D.C. to Boston, Kansas City to Georgia, demonstrators joined a coordinated national strike under the slogan, "No work, no school, no shopping." But tensions have also turned dangerous. In Nebraska, a student protester was struck by an SUV displaying a Trump campaign flag during a demonstration outside a high school. Authorities say the driver has since been located and investigations are underway. Meanwhile, a prominent journalist covering the Minneapolis protests now faces federal charges, further fueling debate over press freedom and protest rights. The action comes amid mixed messages from the Trump administration about de-escalating Operation Metro Surge. President Donald Trump has deployed 3,000 federal officers to Minneapolis, 5 times the local police force. Heavily armed agents in tactical gear patrolled neighborhoods, fueling tensions with residents and demonstrators. Across the United States, communities remain deeply divided over immigration enforcement, with supporters arguing it restores order, while critics say it tears families apart and threatens civil liberties. And as protests continue to grow, one question hangs in the air. Will this wave of demonstrations force a change in policy or push the country deeper into confrontation? For now, America's streets remain the battleground, not just over immigration, but over the direction of the nation itself.